So for this, you'll be needing your round neck circumference, and when taking your round neck circumference, you do not want to grip it too tight. You just want it to have enough ease and still be accurate. So mine is 16 inches, but I'm going to add 2 inches to my round neck circumference to make a total of 18 inches. So what I'll be working with for this is 18 inches. Now I'm going to be dividing that into two because we'll be cutting the collar stand on fold. So when I divide 18 inches into two, it is 9 inches. So I'm just going to rule out a base or a starting line for this. Then I'm going to mark 9 inches from the end of the paper, which you see me doing right now. I'm going to mark out 9 inches like this, which is going to form the length for the base of this collar. Then for the collar stand height, or the height of the collar stand, you can do anything from 1 inch to 1.5 inch. I'm working with 1.5 inch. I'm going to mark 1.5 inch like so, then connect it back to that 9 inch spot that we created for the length. I'm also going to repeat the same thing on the other side of the paper, just so everything is equal and not different. There's no difference in the sizing. Then I'm just going to connect this together, and this would be the length and width for the collar stand. Next up, from that 1.5 inch line that we just drew, I'm going to go upwards by 4 inches and square that line out. Now the good thing about collars is you can go higher or lower as you like and just be dramatic if you so desire. Okay, just do whatever works for you. Now this is the center front of the collar. Remember, we are cutting this collar stand on fold, so this is going to be the center front. All right, now on the center back, I'm going to drop my collar by 1.5. So at that center back now, I reduced it by 1.5. So what we have for that collar back is 2.5 inches. Then I'm just going to connect it back towards the center front to that 4-inch line that we drew earlier. It should look something like this, and that is because the front part of the collar is usually more elongated than the back. Then from that center back line, I came in by 1 inch, and I'm going to connect it upwards like this. Just see what I'm doing, and I'm sure you'll understand. Then from the front of this collar peak, I'm going to extend it by half an inch, just a little bit, half an inch like this. This is to increase the pointiness of the front collar. So I'm just going to extend it to that half an inch point before drawing backwards into the collar base that we made earlier. Just see what I'm doing, and I'm sure you understand as we go on. So these are what my collar pieces look like. I won't be making use of this outer part and this top part. I'll be cutting those parts out. And you can see the line connecting that center front to the collar stand is slant and not straight. So I went ahead to cut it out, and this is what it looks like. So for these pieces, I'll be cutting the base on fold, and I'll be cutting 2 pieces for the base, which is going to be the collar stand, while for the top part, which is the actual collar, I'll be cutting 4 individual pieces. So I'm just going to use this pattern papers to cut out my fabric. So these are all the patterns after they were cut. I can see I gave a little bit of allowance all the way around, but for the base, while on fold, the center front does not have an allowance, just the side and the back. Then for my collar pieces, it has allowance all the way around, and for the collar pieces I have 4, while for the base I have 2 individual pieces. So what I'm going to do next is to iron air stay onto the wrong side of all the pieces. You can do interfacing, or you can do paper stay, whatever works for you depending on how thick you want your collars to be, but I am using air stay, which is the fabric stay. So this is what I ironed on the wrong side of all the fabric pieces. Now for the collar pieces, I'm going to place them right sides facing like this, stitch from the side to bottom. So I'm going to place them right sides facing, ensuring that when they are placed together, the fabric is in the same direction, meaning the side that has the peak is in the same direction. So I'm going to sew from down to top and back down the other side before turning it out and ironing it, just so everything lays nice and flat. So after stitching it from side to top and down the other side, I went ahead to turn it over, stitch the base and give it a good press just so everything lays nice and flat. Now if this video looks darker, it's because the weather is getting dark outside and I film with natural light, hence why the video is coming out darker. Anyways, this is what we have for the collar pieces. Moving over to the base, this is one of the base piece. I'm going to notch the midpoint of this base, and the second base piece, which is here, I ironed it down and folded in one side of the bottom with about 1/4 inch, which we'll be using to stitch this down to the fabric later on. So this is the midpoint of the base which we have here. I'm going to place the collar like this, ensuring that the side that has the peak is placed in the middle, and I'm going to place the other one like this. Now when placing, you don't want your collar pieces to be too close or too far from each other. You just want them to be close enough and not overlap each other or touch each other. Now it should not overlap each other like this because it's not going to sit nice. It should just be as close like this. So this is what we'll have for the collar. Then I'm going to place the other part of the collar stand on top this, kind of like sandwiching the collar in between the collar base. So this side that has the folded edge is what we're using to stitch the collar to the fabric later on. Anyways, I'm just going to align those notch points on the collar base like this. Then I would stitch from this top here, down here, over the top there, and down the other side. Now it is very important that when you are placing your collar in between your collar stand, that the side that has the peak or the pointiness is in the middle and not on the side or behind. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and notch around the area we just stitched, turn it over and give it a good press. Now this is what it looks like. So what I'm going to do next is to pin this to my mannequin and just show you guys the final look. Okay, and if you're still watching up to this moment, do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the subscribe button and turn on post notification. Feel free to share this video and leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts about this video, any suggestion or any video you want me to get to. Just leave a comment in the comment section and leave a thumbs up as well. So I'll be seeing you guys in another tutorial. Bye.